Like I actually, so in the beginning, I felt my shoulders like actually rising, and then I felt them lower, like as you led the stress ball down my arm. And then after like letting it drop, or it's actually at feeling it, I was like, oh, it's rough and it's gross and I don't like it. So feeling it, like I felt like an actual weight fall.
Yeah.
And then like everything was just like very like serene. And then when I woke up again, it felt like I woke up.
Hey. Oh, by the way, the stress balls, you're welcome to leave them behind. We'll sweep them away. They're compostable. We'll compost them. Okay? If you want to pick them up, you're welcome to, and you know, but what else changed for you?
My discomfort became pain during the focus. I had some issues with the joints and chairs and things like that. But then afterwards, it was warm everywhere, and it was very relaxing and safer, I guess.
Okay, cool. What else?
I felt relaxed.
Yay!
Yeah, at first I was tense, and then like she said, felt the little stress balls roll down, and then I felt you sneak up behind me and breathe on my neck. And I said, wow, that happened the longest time. So then I was relaxed. That felt really good.
Woo! Yeah.
I was going to say, I felt turned on.
All right, cool. Okay, so using our voice, pay attention to how the various exercises change your state. Now keeping in mind, I know it's like, you know, a classroom environment. If we can do it a little bit here, imagine under optimal conditions, right? So, okay, paying attention to change of state. Using our voice is about creating a change of state. Aural seduction is about change of state. And part of that change of state is how many of us have thousands thought squirrels, what I call thought squirrels in our heads. Yeah? Yeah, I like a ton of thought squirrels. And man, let me tell you, you can have all sorts of sexy lingerie, sex toys, and mad skills, but if those squirrels are also joining you in the bed, it's not much for actually hot sex. You know? It's not the skills, it's not the toys, it's not the stuff. Can you be fully present? Because how many of us have had sweeties that have come to loving on us when they're distracted?
And it told me to shut up.
And how many of us have joined our sweetie in sex and fun when we're not fully squirrelless? And how did that work out? You know what? This is one of the hardest things about 21st century sex lives. We have the technology, we just can't shut up in our head. So, yeah. And how many of us felt a little more here after our little talk? And how about, what do you think for me? Was I a little more here? Yeah. I'm a San Franciscan. I had to deal with LA traffic. And in me talking with you, it also helped me to get here. Yeah. So, I know this is a weird, okay, when you think about it, you're in a store on uncomfortable folding chairs and a strange person talking at you, okay? But what if instead of that, if it were actually your sweetie in a bed of your choice, may it not be plastic folding chairs, and they were actually snuggling up and saying, all I want you to do is listen to my ideas. Would you be open to maybe just listening? If it happened like that? Just maybe, huh? And listening to the ideas that they may have or fantasies might be that next step to create your own adventure sexcapade. And, you know, when we have new ideas, what we're afraid of is rejection, judgment, rejection. Man, if we can set it up so the person that we're talking about our fantasy to, or what we want to try, is willing to be present without thinking about days, stress, taxes, traffic. Without doing that, yes dear, what? Yeah. And see, so change of state. Okay. Oh, this class, by the way, isn't about dirty talk. Dirty talk is a subgenre of oral seduction. Okay? Because dirty talk we tend to associate as R or X-rated language. One does not have to, it is not one's vocabulary and words used that makes it hot. Nothing wrong with dirty talk. It's just a subgenre. It's like saying French cooking as opposed to cooking. All right? And for some of us, maybe particular dirty talk vocabulary may be uncomfortable. Think of words for genitalia. Some words you're like, yay, and other words you're like, ew. You should not have to speak the words that you make you go, ew, because you know what? That doesn't sound sexy. I want to touch your, ew. Not so sexy, right? It's, I want to touch your yum. So, using your voice, right? It can be about dirty talk, but that's a subgenre. Okay. I'm already noticing a nice relaxation. Good. Okay. So, and this, we're also going to be, let's see, in the class, we're going to be covering some examples about how you can go about using your voice. And we're going to be talking about how to say. And then there's a tiny section of what to say. But don't worry, the what to say is actually easy. Because I'm going to give you cheap, cheesy tricks. I will. I'll totally give you cheap, cheesy tricks. All right. And, okay. Oh, now, the 3 bits of paper. Bring out the 3 bits of paper and your writing implement. Okay. Good. Going to set this up for a little exercise. So what colors do I have today? I have blue. And what's that? Let's call it yellow. And pink. Okay. All right. This will be for an exercise that'll be happening a little bit later. Imagine, I want us to think of a crazy sex fantasy story. Now, we're going to be writing components of this down onto 3 bits of paper, and you are not going to keep them. I am going to collect them and then redistribute them, which means whatever you write, you are not responsible for. Okay? So I want you to get really crazy with this. And I'm not saying it has to be your fantasy. We're just making up a challenge. And a good story. This is Tinseltown. You understand the power of story here in Movie Town. And a good story must have a main character. A good story must have setting. And a story must have action. All right. So I want you to think of something completely wacky. All right, so for example, on the blue, and you notice the pieces of paper are tiny. You cannot write the next Academy Award winning script on this. Please don't. And it must be legible because it will be going to other people. Okay? So, main character on the blue. So for example, it could be a description like tall, dark, and handsome, short, squat, and tentacly. It could be a specific person, Casanova, Luke Skywalker, Leia, Chancellor Merkel. You know, you never know. It could be an occupation, a teacher, an astronaut, an alien invader. I'm counting on this town coming up with good stuff, okay? Setting, dark and stormy night, castle upon the heath. It could be back of a windowless van. It could be on top of the Space Needle. It could be inside a tent, inside a clown car, as you do. Action. This is about sex, or the variations in sex. Yeah.
Can we do 1 character or 2 characters?
One.
Well, we have to do
One. Only one. Only one. Not 2. Notice tiny piece of paper. One. Unless they are no, one. Let's go. No, because I'm introducing a particular game here, so stick with one.
My two characters go hand in hand together.
Separate them. Drop both hands.
One. Okay, are they joined at, okay. A unit? Can it, okay, all right. If you want to, it can be the football team, okay? That is a unit, okay? All right? It could be, I don't know, all of the Golden State Warriors. That is one unit, okay? Now, did we just totally go there? Okay, we did, all right? Okay, good. Okay, and action. Licked, fucked, sucked, pinched, whipped, spanked, buggered. I like the word buggery. Bonked, pierced, tweaked. You get the idea. Okay, go, right. And I will need 3 volunteers to help me collect this. All right. Oh, no. All right, if you want, you know what? I'm going to write down which ones these are. All right. And are you volunteering? Great. And so once you're done, okay. I'm gonna, blue, whenever you're blue, you're going to be collecting yellow, and I'll have you collect pink. Okay?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. And blue, yellow, and those pink. All right. And if you're ready for them, wave them around, and my collectors will collect them.
Yes, thank you very much.
And then pink.
Here we go.
You're blue, right?
I am blue. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Pink?
I have a blue and yellow.
Blue. I'll take a yellow.
All right.
All right, blue and yellow. Pink.
Blue.
I hope you made it challenging for classmates.
Thank you. I have blue. Okay. So yellow.
Yellow person.
Blue.
Looking for yellow.
Blue.
Yellow.
Thank you very much.
I'll grab the yellows.
Yellow?
Let me collect up the yellows. Let me help here. Yellow person.
Blue?
Pink over here. Yellow. Yellow. Okay. Sphinx. Any other lifts? All right.
Pink over here.
Any other yellows?
Anyone else? Blue.
Blue.
Thank you.
Blue. Thank you.
No?
Blue.
Okay. I'm not,
Do we have them?
I'm not coming to you anymore.
Do we have them? All right. Thank you. All right.
Have one last piece.
One last pink. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. What's the name? Right now for now. I'll get back to that. Hopefully you made it challenging for your classmates. Excellent. We will get back to that in a moment. You're wondering, what are we going to do with those? I promise it'll be fun. Okay? And it'll be a game you can take home as well as an idea concept. All right. So using your voice. So at the beginning, our little conversation and breathing exercise. It was a way by which to get rid of the squirrels and head into foreplay. Yeah. Even that action is a part of awesome foreplay, of sexually paying attention to self and other. Using your voice is a great way to get to know somebody erotically. Now, it might be somebody that you've just met and hooked up. You want to find out if their erotic mindscape is compatible to yours, if you have similar terrain of dark back alleys in your mindscape. Okay? Now, it might also be somebody that you've known for years, decades even. How many of us have long-term partners? Okay? So long-term partners, you know them well, they know you well, all the good, the bad, the annoying, and but do they know absolutely every little back alley of your erotic mindscape? Probably not. And do you know every little nook and cranny of their erotic mindscape? Probably not. See, the thing is, I like to think of our erotic imagination as like this infinite world crafting, particularly with nice sleazy areas. Okay? And it's always changing and growing and developing. Think about it. Your erotic mind to like 10 years ago, is it the same mind that you had? I hope not. And if it is, my friends, you must buy some books here. There's some inspirational material, homework, okay? It is constantly changing, and if you're paying attention to the world around you, there are a lot of things that'll feed your dirty mind on a daily basis. So, to get to know somebody erotically, a lifetime of exploring each other's minds. So, when you get to know every square millimeter of the flesh, there's still an infinite amount of this. Yup. And, oh, it's a great way to try out new activities, even scary activities, and exploring things that might be taboo. Now, taboo, and new activities. Okay, you may be seasoned sexual explorer out there. However, there's always something that's going to be new. May we always get to be new at something. But think back to some of the things you like doing now. First time you explored it, didn't it have a little bit of a pucker? Oh my God! Clench. Yeah, I can tell the ones I'm remembering there, sir. Yeah. Yeah, first time we try something new? Oh yeah. And comes with nervousness and trepidations and concern. And it doesn't help when somebody says, oh, don't worry about it, it'll be fine, everybody's doing it. Well, you know what, it's new to you, new to me, okay. But some of those might also be taboo activities. Now, taboo activities, there are several different categories, general categories of taboo. One is the, because society said no, or the figurative parental unit in our mind said no. You know, it's like there was a time when, premarital sex, oral sex. You know what I mean? Every time and place has the taboo. Yeah, we even have them now. Sex with somebody not of your political belief system. You like. Let's fuck. Could happen. But yeah, the taboo of the societal parental no. Right? Or it may be the taboo of physical impossibility or improbability. Okay? So, you know, anyone seen the series Rome?
Yes.
That was hot, right? Okay, so in that, there's Mark Antony and Cleopatra. They were pretty hot. I would love to have a threesome with Mark and Cleo. But I can't, because they're kind of dead. A lot. And if I were to say, you know, use the bones of a museum of Mark or Cleo and screw myself with it, it would be, one, weird, and two, I'd be arrested. So the physical impossibility, so I can't go back in time. Also, I'm a 5'2", middle-aged Asian woman, okay? It would be kind of fun if I could just, at a whim, change who or what I am. I remember a fantasy story I told a sweetie, that I was a 10-foot-tall, ferret-like alien creature with a prehensile tail, and I was a deep space scavenger hunter and slave trader. You, my lover, floating in space somewhere near Alpha Centauri in a life support pod. And of course, I board your ship. And things happen because prehensile tail's a good idea. However, I cannot change the fact that I am 5'2" middle-aged Asian woman. I cannot grow a prehensile tail. I would like to. And speaking of sex in space, I'd like to shag in space, but well, it's a physical possibility. I cannot afford that, which I think is the only reason why Richard Branson formed his company. If you had that much money, wouldn't you have sex in space and form a research company to make it possible? SpaceX, now we know why. Okay, yeah, so physical impossibility. And then there is the third category of taboo, which is the I would never in real life, the illegal, immoral, amoral. You won't do it for real, okay? So there's those fantasies, which leads me to the, various different studies come up with, and the ranking differs, but what do you think that some of the most common sexual fantasies are out there in general adult public in North America?
Rape threesomes.
Okay, so let's see. So threesomes would be
piles of people.
Big piles of people. Okay, so that would come under the category of sex with people you should not have sex with. So there's a category of sex with people you should not have sex with, right? So it could be multiple people, right, in this very 2x2 culture. It could be, let's see, sex with people you should not have sex with. It could be maybe outside of your relationship if you're monogamous or not poly. It could be, let's see, your coworker. It could be age play, etc., etc. So sex with people you should not have sex with. Then there is
Dangerous.
Non-consent.
okay, so non-consent. Okay, so non-consent or rape fantasy, which would come into non-consensual sex. I put that under ravishment play. Then there's another category. I'll get back to that in a second. Another category, which would be sex in places you should not have sex.
Like the subway tracks.
Subway tracks.
That's
Yeah.
dangerous.
Right? Yes, yes. Or in public. Or, so there's a category of places and people and consent. So on the consent or rape fantasy, yeah, that's actually a really common one. And people are uncomfortable with that. Well, good. That means that they have a conscience. But if so many people are having fantasies around what we call consensual non-consent, okay? There's something going on here if it's so common. So let's take a look at that. See, every sexual fantasy, think of that as a window dressing for a human need that's behind it.